Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again today. I will be doing some maintenance things on my vehicle and I will also be cleaning her. But first, let's check out how dirty she is. If you can't tell, I live on a dirt road, so I don't usually get car washes, but I need to get in a better habit of taking care of my car and making her last as long as possible. So later I'm going to be getting a car wash, but first I'm going to check the engine oil and the transmission fluid in the car. When checking the fluids in your car, such as the engine oil or the transmission fluid, you want to pull the dipstick out, clean it off, stick it back in, and then pull it out to get a good reading of where your oil levels are at. Mine is at low, so I'm going to wipe it off and fill her up with some more oil. My engine takes 5W20, which is listed on the oil filler cap right here, as you can see. So that's what I'm going to fill her up with. If you're not sure, you can check the owner's manual of the oil filler cap, or if you go to like an AutoZone or any of the auto stores, they'll also tell you by looking up your car's information. Since I only had a little left in that bottle, I don't think it's going to fill it up as far as it needs to be. So checking this again after 5 to 10 minutes of settling, it shows that I do need a little bit more oil. So I grab another bottle, add a little bit more oil, and then check again to see if it's closer to that full mark. It's basically the same process for transmission fluid, you just have to know what kind of fluid your car takes. Next up is tire pressure. You can locate it on the inside of your driver's side door or the tire itself. It'll tell you the max PSI. You want to fill all the tires as close as possible to the maximum pressure, which mine are 51. So I'm going to fill them up to about 48 PSI. Because I'm using a tire gauge to read the pressure, it's not exact, so 48 is close enough to where I'm not overfilling or underfilling, which both cause ruptures. It's also important to have all 4 tires have the same amount of pressure because you don't want to cause alignment issues if it's not, and also prematurely wear it out. Since all of my tires are at 42, I need to bring it up to that 48, but I'm going to do it off camera. Next up, I'm going to clean out the inside. She's pretty dirty and it hasn't been cleaned out in a very long time. It also sat for 6 to 8 months just collecting extra dust out here on these dirt roads, but other than that, it's time for a cleaning. The seats, or the stains on the seats, are going to stay because I'm going to wait and get a machine to get those out because they're just really in there like swimwear. Next, I go through and take everything out of the car, such as trash or personal belongings, so then I can clean thoroughly. Now we're on to vacuuming. I know it's probably not normal to vacuum your trunk, but it was bothering me, so I just went ahead and did it. The day that I was recording this, it was super windy and the power decides to go out. So I had to help my sister pull out the generator so that she could continue cooking dinner and then I could continue making this video. Thank goodness for generators. After vacuuming, I go through and wipe everything down with a rag soaked in Murphy's oil soap mixture that I put in a bucket. After I wiped everything down, I took some Windex and a new rag to the windshield. I had to do this a few times because I used to vape and that leaves a residue on the windshield. Even if you're a tobacco smoker, it also leaves a residue on the windshield, so you have to do it a few times to really get it off of there and get a nice, clean, or crystal clear look. Now that I've got the inside pretty clean, I'm going to head on to the outside of the car and get that cleaned because it was a mess. I did plan on doing it myself at home, but because of the weather being too windy or snowing, I actually couldn't do it myself. So here's the car wash that's very close to my house that did it for me. So my plan for after the car wash was to get some footage of a shiny brand new car coming out of the car wash, but I got a little nervous because there were people around and decided to drive up the road a little bit. So when you see her in this next shot, it's a little dusty because I was driving a little bit, but much cleaner than when she started off. That is it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up the video if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications when I post. See you next week.